Oh,
Welcome back to the Adventures in Silvernell, Campaign 5, What the Fae, Odyssey of Chaos, also coincidentally, Episode 5. Oh, welcome back, audience and players. Wave to the camera, my minions of chaos. Hello, hello. Andrew, that's you. You're a minion of chaos. It's okay. Did he freeze?
I don't know, but he's yeah.
like-
That's a really.
Or did
This
he
whole
die?
time we were just like, he's
Or
fine.
he's really
been
into it.
frozen.
Andrew.
I don't think this is a bit.
It's okay. He'll come back eventually.
He'll show up.
I'm sure he's not dead. Ben would know if he was dead. It's fine. They're roommates, so I'm just gonna assume that he is alive. But he'll unfreeze eventually. We
He's
are
alive.
back. Yeah, there is. I called him a minion, and he was like, "I don't like that."
What an intro.
Welcome back, Andrew. We missed you. So yes, welcome back to the Adventures in Silvernell. We have been the players have been not getting their ass beat. Honestly, I feel like the players have been doing a very good job of proving themselves as new members of the Will of Asteri. 5 individuals entered into a random doorway room of light, and 3.5 minutes later, a team of 5 is formed as they have been fighting for their lives. 2 have went down, but they are back up. Also, they may have been both the healers, but they are back up and they are ready to see what comes next. And they have seen what comes next. They finished fighting off the Dow and Ladrin that occupied the southern quadrant of this map, the earthen area. And as they did, the ground began to shake, not just around them, but everywhere, as the fissure in their section cracked open and started to make space for something gargantuan. As this, first you see a tree start to rise up out of it, and you see a massive tree start to rise up out of this ground, and then you see a head under the tree, and then you see shoulders, and you realize it is a titan, a colossal, gargantuan giant. That's when he's more, it's big words. In the time it takes for this thing to summon, and the other 3 of their elemental respective natures to summon, you guys do have the moment to decide if there's anything you want to do in those. We'll call it 12 seconds, aka 2 rounds, so you can sneak in 2 actions or take time to at least talk to each other as you prep, as these things make their, it's like they're monologuing and they're like, here it is, slow motion Sailor Moon transformation, and you're just like, okay. So the same thing you want to do, but you are currently inside of a magic circle that does block out elementals, which gives them disadvantage, so it may be the safest place for you. However, it does all put you near each other. But that should be the only thing that would note. But yes, giant stone creature starts to rise up out of the ground. Your thoughts?
Well, I guess we should start by introducing ourselves. Hi, I'm Sharp Cheddarfield. Nice to meet you guys. What the fuck is going on?
Names are good.
Yes, that much right there. Also, hi, I'm Sylvie. Yeah, does this bitch think we're fucking gods? Because
Is that God
Not hi.
talking to us?
whatever voice there is, yeah.
Tidbit is Tidbit. Tidbit does not know what to make of this. But Tidbit was chosen by gods, so Tidbit will be fine.
My name is Desiree, and according to my notes, as she gets out her book and is frantically flipping through pages, I don't think I've ever come into contact with any creatures like you guys or like this thing growing in front of us.
Us, weird. Those things, understandable.
What about you, old man?
I'm Ursine. Just gotta say, there's no shame in giving up. Somebody's talking to us. Let's just surrender. We'll go back home. Everything will be absolutely fine after that.
Wait a
Does
minute.
anybody have like a dimension door type of thing?
Actually, I think old geezer makes a good point. All right, the god upstairs are talking. Obviously, he's controlling everything, right? Said we're really important, that we're gonna be needed to, because we're the last of blood of something to help something. So they're not gonna kill us, right?
I don't know. I'm on the last of my blood right now.
So use
I'm-
that. Use the they're not gonna kill us logic, and let's push forward instead. How about that?
Well, what if we, play chicken with them? Have them kill all of us. If all of us are dead, then we can't do their little mission thing, right?
Are you saying we should start killing ourselves?
No. I'm saying
Oh,
just let the Colossals kill us. Because obviously they want us here for something, right? They're trying to show us something. They don't want us dead. Maybe that's the key. We're like, we're not gonna fucking do anything. And then like,
but I don't
can't
like
kill you.
losing.
I don't know if we're really gonna lose. I think we're necessary.
Dying is losing.
Roll me your new initiatives.
Oh fuck.
Natural 1.
oh, not that bad then.
No joke, a 2.
I got a
Three.
15.
Sounds like Andrew's last. I think Scott's also pretty low with a 2.
I got a 4.
Okay, so you got higher than Tanner. All right, we got the under 10 route.
My demon and his demon rolled an 18 though, so
Okay, good.
Good
Also,
job.
yes, there are demons present.
we don't have to talk about that right now.
Erica, you got a 15.
Yes.
Then what'd you get?
3.
I still got Bree out as well.
You guys are like fighting for last place over here. All right.
I mean, it kind of goes thematically with our whole like we're not fucking fighting thing.
Michael, you want to let me sneak in one little action before that initiative there?
Go for it.
I just want to put our emboldening bond back on.
Gotcha.
Is that you and the cheese?
No, that's the
Oh,
no, that's the
everyone.
group.
Okay.
it's the D4 for everybody.
And the teleporting and whatnot.
Did that 12 seconds count as a long rest, perchance?
That's a great
Oh.
question.
Oh, if only. Cradle
I
and
feel like time moves differently here.
Yeah, I agree.
It felt like a
people
lifetime,
in-
those 12 minutes.
In
12 seconds.
Interstellar, when they fly to that planet, then yes.
Erica, you are first. Desiree.
Oh goodness gracious. So
You feel
seeing
emboldened.
this, yeah, I feel emboldened to go ahead and wild shape into a owl. But you notice when Desiree wild shape, she kind of keeps her same color scheme. So this owl that she is just transformed into is like orange and red and yellow, and the feathers almost seem like they have flames dripping off of them. As she's gonna go ahead and try to get up top with the rest of her movement to see if she can get an overhead view of this Titan.
Yeah. What's that fly speed? Just
It was 60 feet, I think. Let me double check.
60 feet. Okay, cool. Yeah, this thing is 50 feet tall. And so as you start to, it's now it has 60 feet movement, 60 or 80. It's a lot. You start to soar up, and you are just like you're hitting that straight vertical, and you can just see like peripherally the body of this thing as you're flying up. But also you notice as you go up and you kind of level yourself out as you hit that 60, you recognize that there are all these other giant things that have formed. One made of fire, one made of ice, and one that seems to be clouds that have taken form.
Gotcha. Okay. She's just gonna kind of hang out up there for now, and I still have my little flame friend, my wildfire spirit.
Your companion, yes.
Nah, he's gonna chill for a second. That'll be it for me for now.
All right. Can everyone who's not Erica make me a what is this save? It is a strength saving throw, please.
Is that because she's not on the ground? Because I'm also floating.
It's because she is very far off the ground.
Heard that.
Which is why I want to know how high she went.
I can jump.
What was that roll?
A strength saving throw.
I just did something I have never done in the history of me playing D&D before. I have a -1 on a strength saving throw, and I
Not a
rolled
zero?
a 1. So I have a 0! I've never had a 0 ever!
Beautiful.
I've said I have 0
Beautiful.
far many times. I love it.
I've had negative numbers.
I'm like, I don't need to.
I'm like,
Okay, Scott does not do well. Got
I'm
it.
Yeah,
dead.
I got a
Oh.
14.
14. Okay.
I thought my one was bad, but I have +1. So
Did you also roll a 1?
I did.
I got a 23.
At least there was one good one.
I think
Thank
half
you.
of our rolls have been under
Thank
5
you.
so far.
Yeah. We should average them out.
Yeah,
Hold on.
here. Good roll, Juju, to everyone. We got this. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out.
You know,
I
there,
don't like that you said that then laughed.
we have some homebrew rules that we've established here in the Fae of Silvernell that does have a rule about rolling nat ones on saving throws, which is the same as a crit on a hit, which is you take max damage.
Mm.
And 2 of you got nat ones. Okay. We'll just make it super narrative. The DC was a 22, so the person who passed is Andrew.
Whoa.
I'll never get that.
Andrew does pass.
God.
Okay.
I rolled a 19 plus 4. Like, I'm never gonna get that again.
Dying at the
That's
what
beginning
I
of the
need to get.
episode is much better than dying in the middle.
I made the threat. Also, behind the scenes, I made the threat that they were gonna die, and I was like, ooh. And then this is the first thing that's happened this episode.
Yeah, haha, wasn't
Uh,
joking.
Yes. So this thing rises out of the ground, and you see. I'll give it from Erica's point of view. You see this thing is slightly below you, and it kind of like does like a haka knee slap, so it like kind of like hits his legs, and then throws his hands up, and the ground rises into a 30-foot, basically tidal wave of earth, and it rolls fiercely, furiously, fastly at the party. Andrew, in tune with nature, he has been running through Penelope's Indian flora for his whole life. He can tell when something just doesn't sit right with plants, and he does as he said. He hits and just jumps. Like he hits that perfect timing of like the elevator's falling. You're just like, all right, it's time to jump. I'll just like balance out movie style, and he does that. That 60-year-old man, they say, agile. The rest of the party. Oh, Erica also safe. So there's that. Tanner, you have a regular fail. You take 66 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wait, it's like 66?
Yeah. No, yeah, 6 and a 6, not 6d6. 6t6.
Oh
I'm
my god, a
down.
crit fail? I'm about to, first time
I'm
ever,
down.
die with my full HP in the negative.
And then
Oh my
Erica,
god.
Erica, you're watching this. It's something in your bones. You're just like, I want to get a better view to see like what's going on. And you watch as that wave hits. You see Andrew jump over it flawlessly, and then you see everyone else just hit the ground. Andrew, Tanner takes 66 points of damage. Scott and Ben, who got nat ones, which here means they take max dice damage. I didn't even roll on top of that. I just let it be. You take 108 points of bludgeoning damage as the ground booms through you.
No. You roll the rest of them. Roll them. If I get hit, I want to get hit.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
108, those are rookie numbers. 108 is literally 1 point more than my max. So if you roll, I kid you not, 57 more damage, I'm auto dead. Like, death saving throws, dead.
You are very lucky. I rolled 51 points of additional damage since you wanted the full things for 159.
Yeah, but what about Tidbit? Oh wait.
He takes this. Listen. If you want to get extra hurt, you can, or you can just take the regular down. Scott's obviously a sadist. I don't know what's going on there. He's like, make it hurt more.
That
You can take 108 points of damage, or if you want to be like Scott, take 159 points of damage.
Hey, nothing
feel
wrong
like
with
it's
being
gonna hurt
a
you.
negative 101.
I'll
6
take that
away.
108.
What away? Great. Are you still up?
No.
Yeah, I just never know.
No.
Some people do have lots of hit points here. Okay, also audience, some people do have more than 100 hit points. I think it's just Tanner, but I
I'm
know
also down.
there is that, and he didn't even take that much.
Yeah.
Andrew, you do hit that jump, you stop, you land, and then it's like a petty rock, just like moves under your ankle. You hit it flawlessly, rolls under your ankle, and you take 33 points of bludgeoning damage because that is half as much. Uh, and Erica, you notice, and also Andrew notices when those players go down, they literally go down as the ground starts to cover up and bury them. Party of 5 just hit. Party of 2 in less than 6 seconds, which is I feel like I think it's like I don't play Silver No record here, baby. I don't know. That's what I want to be known as, the most lethal DM in Silver now.
Finally, the crown has been taken.
And I would say it's Scott's turn, but it's not. I would say it's Tanner's turn, but it's not. I would say it's Ben's turn, but it's not.
It's our turn to roll death saving throws.
We
Yeah,
just got
hey,
absorbed
hey.
into the ground.
Correct.
Michael's like, no, I want you auto dead.
It's you're not making death saves, but I will tell you as a player, your character is not dead, but feels is going through the process that feels like it feels like you're failing your death saves. You're not making them, but it feels like you are like sinking into the ground as you are like suffocating and burying as you're like breathing. You're just like incapacitated and you're taking in breaths. You are also under the suffocated condition. And so your
Am
character
I
is literally
seeing God?
no.
Okay, thank you.
Not on great terms.
You're not seeing God, and also
was gonna say,
also Tidbit's not seeing God. Nobody's seeing God. I
didn't believe anyway.
I think maybe Andrew's seeing God as he like rolls his ankle, looks up and sees a bird, and he's like, "Is this a sign?" And it is Andrew's turn.
I'm going to, as an action, cast Long Strider on myself. Increasing my speed by 10 feet. I'm then going to bonus action. Where you at? Can bonus action use my my archetype, my ranger archetype feature, Writhing Tide, which will give me a flying speed of 10 feet. So I have a speed of 20, I think, and I'm going to move 20 feet into the air.
And you start to it's like taking for you doing this, getting your blights to raise you into the air, which they are like one is on the ground and it is it's Viney who's got these vines that are like extending and it's lifting you up as you're flying in the air, but it is on the ground helping you fly. It's like the cables are not thin. You can see that magic trick, but you are flying 20 feet in the air with immense concentration. Anything else?
Is there a point to hit? I guess.
Like, is there a point on it you can hit?
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
is it just
it has
everything?
or is it pointless to
Oh,
me?
Yeah.
You can see that it has a shape that is separate from the battlefield. It grew out of the battlefield. Its feet are still connected, still inside the crevice, but it has from calves up. It has two hands, a head, a tree crown on it. It has eyes, a mouth. You can hit it. It is like you have a target. You could look at it like you would look at any other being you were trying to take down, except it's much bigger than most things you fight.
So it's easy to hit. That's
Correct.
what I'm hearing.
It is also made of stone, something like that.
Yeah, hey, we know that. We know how piercing damage does
Easy.
against that. I'm gonna action surge and attack. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my last action surge. To 18. Do I have advantage? Because it's very, very.
I'll give you advantage. 18 does not hit. But you want
Does a dirty 20 hit?
It does.
Oh, splendid. I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. Goody. Good. That's a 1 damage plus 3, so that's 4 damage. Would you say that this thing has a good constitution modifier or a good strength modifier?
It looks very put together. Let's
I'm
say.
gonna try to push it back 15 feet. Why not?
Bro, it just hit its knees and slammed the whole
Let it
ground like a
happen.
damn bad guy.
Let it happen.
May as well try.
Thorny runs up. Is it making a save?
Yeah, it's gonna make a save. Gotta beat a 17.
What kind of save is it?
It's a strength save.
It is a 17.
Ah, that would have been real silly if I could have pushed it back 15 feet. I'm gonna.
Add a +7 roll to 10, so I was like, oh.
I'm going to extra attack real quick. That's gonna be a 29 for 5 damage.
Can you make that check again?
Hmm?
Can you do the push thing again, or no?
Oh, sure.
You know, you got it.
27. Yeah. I hit it.
Oh, it rolls a nat 1 on its strength save, or I guess so. It rolls an 8
Cool.
on its strength save.
That's what you're. I can only do that once per turn. Yeah, might be. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
And then
That would have been cool.
it picks up its big toe, and it's like, I did it, and holding that toe up, getting a nice mean stretch in there.
Heard.
Erica's also alive. And speaking of our queen in the sky, it's her turn.
I'm going to take a note out of the good old Attack on Titan player handbook, and I would like to investigate the nape of this creature's neck and see if there is anything there that might be useful.
The nape of its neck. Okay, give me a investigation. Yes. I had to think my way through that word.
That was a 21.
Ooh. Looking for some sort of like, okay, yeah. So
like a
as
weak spot or
you move toward, you start to hit the Sora around it, and you see it seems like it's very much made out of, as you get closer to it, it seems like it's carved out of one giant piece of stone, except for its headpiece that is obviously vegetation versus the rest of its body, which is stone. That is the information that when you get that close, that is the thing that stands out to you the most.
okay. In her owl form, I guess we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna land on top, like where the vegetation is, and I'm going to unwild shape as I get on top of there. Do I still get an action though, right? If I'm breaking the wild shape?
Yes.
Let's see what I can do. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Plant Growth with one of my last spells and see if I can cause anything to happen up here. I'm hoping maybe this is like its brains or something, and if I make them explode or something with the plant, I don't know. We're just gonna go for it. Plant Growth.
Plant growth, gotcha. Let me see if there's any chaos in there that I should be aware of that I can play. Plant growth, here it is. Yes, third level spell. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. You cast plant growth on it, and you see, kind of similar to what happened when you cast on yourself. You see that the leaves of the tree start to act like hair and starts to kind of grow and start to hang down, almost like it's giving like a willow tree. It has like sagging leaves, and they start to descend further and further down. And as well as that, the roots of the tree also start to grow and crawl. And you see, you don't see it, but you feel a jostling of the head. Andrew would see that there is a root from that tree crawling into the eye of the eye place of this Cradle Scion. It is giving it some sort of disadvantage.
Okay, cool. I'll take that.
To say.
She's gonna kind of ground herself as well in that moment and kind of try her best to like hold on and get a grip in case this thing starts moving or shaking its head so that she won't be thrown off. Just kind of brace herself as well.
Which is perfect. Because that is what it starts to do as its eye starts to hurt. It's going to make several attacks. It's going to you're like on its head and you can feel like it's starting to go up and down, and you can feel it like and Andrew sees it's starting to chew something. It's starting to like make this chewing motion like a cow chewing on whatever cows chew on that's in their mouth already. And it chews it's a real thing. I just don't know the word for it. Don't laugh at me. Get educated, people.
I think it's cud.
See, that's why I thought it was. It just sounded weird, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not really from the South." Anyways, it starts to chew on some rock cud, and it starts to spit these blasts, and it's spitting 2 of them at Andrew. It has disadvantage from the roots growing into its eye. That is going to be. Oh, okay. Well, that was 2 of the same number. That's gonna hit, and then a 16. Does a 16 hit, Andrew?
16 hits.
Okay.
Anything more than a 14.
Okay. Gotcha. So both attacks will hit. It's going to be... that is going to be 57 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, I'm still alive.
Perfect. I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Oh boy. That's a 14.
That fails, and you see one of the rocks falls down that was spit at you, hits you, falls down, and it lands next to Viney, and it kind of like throws him off. You are under the prone condition, and so you fall out of the sky. Viney will dramatically like, not my friend. And so you are just slowly descending to the prone condition / position. That is both those things. But you do not take any falling damage as your blight is like, does not give up a bit. And then Erica, it's going to give you one of these weave pats as it's trying to figure out what's in his head, and it's going to make an attack at disadvantage because it can't see you. We also... Okay, it rolled a nat 1. However, that's still a 15 to hit.
Does it punch itself in the face?
That hits.
Yeah, it's do one of these things, and it also Andrew will note, because he's the only person who can see this, that it does like jostle itself as it smack that shit out of itself. But it will do.
It rolled a nat 1 and still hit. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Is that a cute plus 14? It's gonna be. It might not be a minute, It might be 10 seconds. Who's to say? 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm still kicking.
Which it will take half of as it... And it's like... And that is... It's... Oh, it also can do one more thing.
I know what to call this episode.
Paper
mache versus an atomic bomb.
Sticks and stones.
3 seconds to heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. It's going to make one more attack. Erica, you notice as it hits you, and you feel a reverberation of that as it's kind of like goes through the stone itself, and then it just kind of like it lasts a little too long. As you notice that one of the roots that started to grow, not the one that's in its eye, it's still there, but one of the roots that start to grow starts to undulate and lashes out, and it grabs you. And it hits you. You are under the grapple condition, and you take 25 points of bludgeoning. And it's just like this thick root just like wrapped around you, just like
I'm still kicking.
an aggressive hug. And then that is the end of its turn. But yes, you are grappled. Not a bird.
No. I'm wild shape.
And that is the end of its turn. Survived round. Andrew.
Gonna get up. That'll be half my movement, I guess. And I'll fly up 10 feet. Very good. And now I will gonna manifest my echo with a bonus action. I'm going to then shoot it via the echo. Echo's on the ground. I don't think Echo can fly.
It's okay. Echo on ground will still,
Yeah.
do what it does.
It's a 23 hit.
It does.
Very good. That is going to be 11 points of piercing damage. Could you? Hey, roll a strength. Roll a strength save. Why not?
Yes, sir. That is going to be a 10.
Did you get pushed back 15 feet?
You
Hopefully,
see,
trips.
you see right where you have Thorny is holding up that toe. Your other one, the third one, that's name is escaping me now. Thorn. It doesn't matter. The third one, it shoots and it rams itself. Needle. It's needle, pine, and disrupt. Got it. The needle rams itself right in between the big toe and the toe next to it as it's got it separated. Just and that thing goes and it starts to and it stumbles back 15 feet. 15 feet in gargantuan just don't feel like 15 feet, but it definitely moves back.
Yeah. It's an accomplishment, At least I'll die with that. I was kind of hoping to retire.
You'll die with damage under your belt on that gargantuan. Unlike
Yeah.
Hey, watch it.
I never had a chance.
15 feet for gargantuan. I think he just exhaled.
He lost lung capacity.
Andrew, be careful, okay? Don't crush
Yeah.
Bree, my little robot cheeses alone without commands.
I can command for if you want.
Just chilling.
I'm just assuming my demons are dead and not running amok. But
Oh, those demons for sure got slapped up in
Yeah.
that wave.
For my extra attack, I rolled an 18 or a 28 for piercing.
28 for 4 pieces.
Put that up.
Perfect. Tanner actually brings up a very good point because those devils don't technically just disappear. Them bitches run amok. However, they do not run amok in this area. You note, Andrew and Erica, you start to hear something else, and it is not the sounds of this thing you're fighting, which is very loud. It's like standing in front of a speaker. You can hear it, but you start to hear, and then which prompts you to turn to look. The other, some of the other giants are moving, and you see that there are devils that are just running around like hitting things and like just moving. They have immunity to fire, and they are currently dealing with the fire thing. So it's just like them. They've activated it by being in its space, and they are not doing damage to it, and it is not doing damage to them. But they are engaged. So you can feel the heat and flares of things that are like flying around from attacks from the fire beast. But it's not hurting you. But they are there. Thank you, Tanner, for that. Those devils.
Anytime I can summon some demons,
And then that was Andrew with the shots. We're back to Ms. Erica.
I am going to use plant growth again, but this time on myself, and I want to try to become even more grappled than I already am. It like to this thing, and the chance that if it starts shaking its head or whatever, that there's no chance that she's gonna go flying off of it or anything like that. So she's going to cast plant growth and try to get her roots embedded also within this creature's roots to kind of give herself some footing. I don't even know if that's footing. I don't know. I want to be trapped on that bitch.
Trying to copy what it did with the roots locking into its space. You want to double down and also put your roots in. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you can absolutely do that. You cast a spell. You are grappled by the root. And I don't think. Oh, you actually do take damage for being in that. But I will give you the spell first. Yes. You cast the spell, and your roots, your hair first starts to grow around you, almost like it is giving you a cloak, some sort of like it's trying to protect you. Not effective, but it's trying to protect you. It's doing its job, and then you can feel it feels like your toenails are growing, very like toenails, leg hair. You can feel that starting to happen, and you look down, and it's your roots growing out of you into the ground, planting themselves into the stonework of this creature, and you have locked yourself in. But you do, however, take as this thing reacts to you, as you like dig into it, it digs into you simultaneously. 38 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, I'm definitely down now. But at least I'm down and connected to that bitch. I ain't going in the ground like y'all.
You are locked in. As you said, oh no, I can see you up there. I'll give you a what's happening to you. You feel your leg hair, your toenails grow into the thing. You squeeze it, it squeezes you, and then you feel like you're in a contest of wills. Like it is like it's like you are being pulled into a tree, but you're also like trying to pull the tree into you, and you lose the fight as you become like almost another ornament on top of its head. You're like you go in farther than you intend to, so it's not protecting you now. It is now like imprisoning you from like knee down. You're like, and you were just like, you start to feel yourself stiffening and becoming an orange glowing tree. Not as big as a giant tree on it, but a you-sized orange tree minus what you would need from your knees. It doesn't matter. The cradle goes. The cradle looks out and it makes an attack at the echo.
The carvings that I make are very detailed, which is why it can be confused.
And it is going to do. Where is my? There it is. Echo has one hit point, right? Doesn't Echo have one?
Yeah,
hit point?
has one hit point. Yeah.
It is destroyed. I was rolling all these numbers, and I'm like, wait. Only Andrew is left on the field at this point, so it will attack you. Just want to clarify, like, make sure I'm only attacking all the things. 2 more spit attacks.
There's devils. There's devils too. They're just over there.
Okay,
Andrew, come on, we got a bathroom break to get to.
I'm trying to survive.
I know you've been running the whole time.
Hurry up, Andrew! I got 5 minutes to come up with season 6. Come on.
The 19 is gonna hit. I'm assuming, and then because you said a 14 was your AC, and then the
I have
second
2 hit
one,
points.
and you are hit. Rock. Viney, the second rock hits Viney. Like it falls directly on Viney. You fall. You hit the rock. You feel the effects. You take the full falling damage. If you fall onto the rock, it's not back breaking, but you're definitely like that meme where you're like you
It's gonna hurt later.
And then you hit the ground and you can find, and you feel very at peace. You feel the ground coming around you, but you don't feel like you are in danger. It feels like you are very much where you've always meant to be. It feels like an embrace from Agba as the ground starts to cover you up, and you feel like you can almost breathe underground. You don't feel like you're suffocating, but you feel like you are sinking and sinking and sinking. And we will take a bathroom break right here to know what happens after they all sink and one becomes a little statue. But we'll see. We'll be right back, my friends. We're back! Isn't it crazy how, you start a stream with
Alive.
with 5 friends hanging out, and then you make it to the bathroom break. You make it 10 seconds into that stream, and then they're dead. Well, 3 of them. 3 of them died very, very quickly. 2 of them, you can tell which one of them was that. But it was a good time. It was a good time, and we jump into that moment shortly after Tidbit watching Scott's dismay as Tidbit, Sylvie, and Angry Sharp. I literally forgot his name. As
Angry
Sharpshooter.
That's me. That's you. Just baiting me into death.
This says some crazy things on the internet. I will not use that. Anyway, you are you're descending into the ground. You just took a massive amount of damage. It feels like your body is failing death saves. You can feel life leaving your body. You feel dirt pouring into your lungs. You are gasping for breath, and then you are sitting cross-legged in a room that is made of wood, etched in runes. Pillows and blankets are abound. Tapestries adorn the walls. This place is absolutely and abjectly unfamiliar, except to 2 people. One, Scott Nicholson, not his character though, and one, Tidbit Crimson, not the player Ben though. You, Tidbit Crimson, recognize this space because you've been here before, one time, in a vision you've seen with Summersong. You are standing in Summersong's own personal demi-plane, where you see a table is set, tea is like brewing, and you see, Scott, there's a picture on the Discord that you can show. A lady sitting cross-legged, sipping tea. There are 5 cups in front of her, and she just sits there cross-legged and looks at you. Well, I really didn't think you were gonna make it that far. Not bad. What are we doing? Sharp, Sylvie.
Well, 1 second ago I was dead, and now I'm sitting here with a cup of tea, so needless to say, I'm a little bit confused.
You've got some time. You're not here yet. It's just our...
Oh, wait, just kidding.
Yeah, you're good, you're good. You're still alive.
I thought we were all there.
So actively talking to her.
You're fighting for your life.
Sitting there kind of silent because I'm just taking in the fact that I have never succumbed to death quite like that before. And so I just look up at her and start to respond. Who are you and what was that?
Her voice is familiar. You know she is the voice you have been hearing. And she says, "Oh, my name is Melody of Symphony. Nice to meet you, and I am... Well, until 10 minutes ago, I was the last living member of the Will of Asteri. But now I have you all."
So that story you were telling us was actually about us.
Oh, not about you, but about someone in your family at some point, way back when, at the beginning of time. Them. You're disconnected. It's kind of... If you don't know what's going on, it's kind of a shitty deal. But you are contractually obligated to do this because they did it. But they're supposed to pass down the information every generation. It is very clear that most of you did not get the memo. Correct?
Yeah.
Sharp's gonna waddle up and just kind of go around and look for books. Yeah, that was really impressive. I figured this whole thing was some kind of show to show us something. Obviously, we're very important. We're descended from a long line of Asteri. So, alright, where's our training manual? Where's our books? Where's our information? I know a mission when I see one, lady. Alright.
Close but wrong. Not descendants of Asteri. That would make you a god. You are cheese, not a god. We are descendants of the people who worshipped Asteri. But this is a mission. You are right on that one. Oh, good job.
I should read down.
Never been to the Fae, and I got 1 out of 2. Yeah. So, what do you need from us, lady?
Oh, well, as the story mentioned, the primordial princes are a pretty big deal. And Erica slots in. You just kind of see her appear out of space. She just is sitting there cross-legged. Erica, you feel very stiff until you are in this. You feel yourself, remember yourself stiffening, your leg hair growing, toenails growing, you remember all that. You stiffen up, you stiffen, it's crazy contractions, and then immediate release as you enter the space, and you're just like, it all just kind of melts off of you, and you're sitting there. You see Melody drinking her tea. You see 3 of your compatriots who are, 2 of them are sitting there. One is abound, but they're in the space with you. Oh, welcome.
She's gonna like crack her neck a little bit to get some of that tension out. So that was kind of a lot. Don't you think?
Well, if you're gonna have to fight gods, probably going to be a lot.
Well, fighting really isn't my forte. I think there must have been some mistake as to why I'm here.
Oh no. Especially you. You should know more. You look just like her.
My mother? I've always been told that we looked quite similar, but you know my mother?
Oh, not your mother, your great-great-grandmother. You look just like her. Desandra? She was a member of the Will of Vistiri. My gran knew her.
Wow, my great Grant Elm. Well, I kind of pride myself on knowing a lot, and to be honest, this is the first I've ever heard of this.
Well, she was a dear friend to my family, and we are ever grateful is not the word. We are ever inspired by the action she took, even though it had the consequences that it did.
But do you think you have anything stronger than that tea there? I think I might need something to drink after all of this.
Oh, you really want to try the tea? It's quite soothing. Well, not mine, but you have your own right there.
And she's gonna go, I guess, to if there's a teapot and a cup, and kind of like shakily start pouring herself a cup of tea.
Yeah, and there is. She sits at a table that you kind of like manifested at, and so you just kind of reach forward and start to do the things. And she will actually reach out for the tea and pour the tea for you as you take the cup. A very courteous lady. Relax, dear. You've already died. Well, you didn't actually die, but you already did the thing. Now this is the easy part. We just get to chat. I can answer all your questions. I'm sure you have plenty of them.
I have come up with a list so far, and she's gonna get out her book, and she's gonna say, well, first of all, why me? Second of all, why the cheese? And why does he have so many holes in him? And third of all, I've never seen a talking frog before. I mean, we are from the Fae, but that's a little strange. And the primordial princes. This is not something I feel like I have enough knowledge on. I'm gonna need you to start from the beginning, please. And she's gonna get her pen ready.
Oh, well, you because Desandra, your great-great-grand. The cheese because a great of his. Don't know them personally. So there's that. What is chat? There's so many questions. Oh, why you? Why the cheese? Oh, the holes. It is. She kind of like looks over at the cheese who has like separated himself from
They're
the group.
called war holes, okay, tree lady? Don't worry about it. Obviously, we're either some team being put together, some Suicide Squad, or some really freaky reality show we don't know about. But we got a long time to talk about that. Long story short, I've seen a lot, made a lot of holes. What you got in that book? You mind if I see that book?
No, thank you. Actually, I this is my most prized possession. I don't feel comfortable letting somebody like you, no offense, holding it. But
whoa! Somebody like me?
said
What
that.
the fuck is that supposed to mean? You know, I've seen a
Probably
lot
all
of
your
shit,
talk of
Weeping Willow.
Warhol.
Weeping Willow, I haven't even cried yet. It's just like grade school all over again.
Des, you remember, you and Tidbit have this moment of post-combat clarity, recognizing that there is a cheese person kind of sitting with you. You know that Demina, Queen of the Fae, it has a very like particular way in which she wants food folk handled. They're normally very delicate. Everyone knows that like food folk don't live very long in the Fae. It's a very short experience, and so you're supposed to help them have like the best time possible. But the food folk have always just been kind of either neutral or kind of chipper. That is not the vibe you guys get from Cheese. It is just he's just hard. Like there's something that is different about him. But also you know that you've never met a food folk from the material plane. Any food folk you would have met or heard of are Fae food folk, and so there is a delineation there. Also, Andrew appears in the space as he pops down. Oh, now it'll hear. Just quick questions. Do any of you know each other?
No.
Oh. Well,
I mean, they might know each other, but I don't know any of them.
She kind of like looks around. There doesn't seem to be any recognition on faces. Well, you work very well together for the people who have never met, and so that is a great first step. I do see, and she looks at Tidbit and Desiree. But I'd say that in an accent. Tidbit and Desiree. And she sees your Sky Defense Academy pins. Tidbit's is like laminated. It looks like a holographic like Pokemon card like type energy. Desiree's is basic Pokemon card. It is not laminated. It is not shiny. It is a graduate edition pin, which means you graduated. It just does not have the shock and awe of a regular pin. And she sees those and she goes, "Oh, well, it would make sense that you are formally trained in the Sky Defense Academy, so it makes sense that combat does work well for you. That is very good. And both healers, as I noted, that does up your chances. That's great. Where were you trained, little fairy? Where'd you learn to do what you do?"
Oh, you see, the weave just kind of naturally manifested and taught me. I just kind of go with the flow and get sent to do random things, so toughened up through the years.
Oh, the weave, eh? All right.
Yeah.
You one of those. Okay. Well, I hope you better go with the flowy. You do things because it feels good to you. Don't know what that's like, but it's
So you've never felt good?
I've always had a mission. It's not that I don't feel good doing things. I just don't get to do what I want to do. The world has to be saved and all, and someone's got to do it. Unfortunately, it's me. Well, you, but.
Oh.
Oh, Cheese, where are you trained? Where'd you learn to do all those things?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of places, old lady. Listen, are we getting paid for this?
No. You get to live. Everyone gets to live. If this goes poorly, everyone dies. Not in a dramatic like, oh, we could all. This is worse than Olivine. If you really want to like get into what's going on, if the Fae falls, then the material plane falls because that portal is connecting them, and so one goes down, the other goes down, and if these are called anchor planes. If those go down, reality just kind of starts to fuck itself, and that's even worse. So,
why is it every century or so the whole world seems to be in danger?
Oh, it's cycles of time. Was that rhetorical? I cannot answer it. I have an answer if you want it.
It's fine.
How old is this lady? How old are you, lady?
Yeah, how old are you, lady?
Not supposed to ask these types. That's
You
kind
talk
of
like a
rude.
very old lady. Sorry.
You can, and yeah, you look at her. You see she has very clear elven ears, but she in the face is old. Like she looks as old as probably Ursine feels. Like she is ancient. She's about 700 years old. Like
You look as old as him.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Oh,
I look that young? Oh, wow. That was beautiful. I'm 700 years old. I've been doing this for
yeah.
quite a while. Sorry, was that? Are you okay?
I mean, you're still doing what you're doing. That's well, that's great. That's great. I'm looking forward to retirement myself. Relatively soon. If you catch my drift.
I don't. You may have missed my drift. The world is in danger, so your retirement may be slightly postponed.
No.
However, there is a chance, howbeit ever may small, that once you're done with that, you won't have to do anything again. I haven't done anything Will of Hysteria related in. This is kind of like the first thing. Like I'm 700 years old, and the primordial princes don't just stir very often. It's just the first time they've stirred. But as the cheese did say, Silvanel has a way of balancing itself out with more chaotic intentions. And
Sharp.
So,
Sharp. The name's Sharp.
Sharp? Oh, Sharp.
If they're all gonna be spending time together, having a whole story arc, you know, the neurotic tree girl, the frog that doesn't say much, the old man, the cute ass fairy, the cheese. We're all gonna come to terms with each other, see what drives us, cry a little bit, learn to love. I'll probably learn to be nice at some point. You'll have a whole arc. You know, let's just get
Have
our
you done
names
this
right.
before, Cheese? Have you done this
I've seen
before?
a lot of adventurers through this world. Let me tell you, it's all the same. Someone comes along, is gonna break something. You gotta fix it because everyone's gonna die. You know. I've been around a while. I'm not like those other food folk. I got a lot of
You're a
preservatives in these
jaded
holes.
Cheese. It's okay.
Tidbit has a question. Does Tidbit have to do this?
I agree with the
Yes, friends. Everyone present here has to do this. Sorry.
But Tidbit was chosen by God.
So you have to do this.
Which
thing.
one?
Yeah, with God.
This is his house.
You
Wait,
know Summer Song? Sir Irva?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you know, me and Sir Irva go way back. I'm the reason he got to the material plane. Not to toot my own horn, but time always tells. All I had to do was my part, and that got us here. I made him a god. I helped him become a god. You're now here.
That's
seemed
right.
desperate.
He chose me, not you. So, can I go?
No, I made your god important, and so this just seems like a time thing.
Hey, if Tidbit
Does that
gets
make you a
hated, I get to
god?
leave.
I'm like a god's favorite god, you know, a girl's girl.
Oh,
A
This
god's
is
fault.
hurting
I
Tidbit's
like
head.
that.
It's all right. No worries. You have to. Don't worry, Tidbit. You do have to do this. Otherwise, you know, you and all your friends and family will cease to exist, which seems like not a fun thing.
So, are we gonna travel through time?
Oh no! What? It's happening right now.
But
Well,
his god is
now.
so. Well, I mean, like, are we gonna travel in a direction of time we're not naturally supposed to travel, like backwards?
Oh God. You must not be very familiar with Summer Song. That his whole thing is
No.
keeping time moving in the correct direction, unweathered by the influences of the divine. You know, fun fact: Summer Song, when he was a person, didn't believe in gods, and now he is one. Isn't that chaotic? But no, you're not jumping through time.
I mean,
We
not
need your help
believing
right now.
gods, there's like a billion of them. It's like everybody walks in the world like, that's a god. You can literally talk to him.
All right, Summer Song. Well,
It's crazy.
is this one of those rhetorical things, or do you want the answer? I can tell you why he felt that way.
Oh,
Or
you
if
know?
you want to, points the frog. Do you know why Summer Song didn't believe in gods?
Yeah, call him up.
Oh, Tidbit never asked, because Tidbit did not really care.
That's fair, Tidbit.
That is, you are very similar to him. Much like Tidbit, Summer Song did not care. He viewed gods as individually they were just really magical beings, which to him wasn't really a large feat because he came from the Fae and he himself was a trained arcane wizard. So he just, you know, in his brain, they're just more skilled wizards. The part that made them gods, which he always felt weird about, was the fact that people worship them and power comes from worship. And so there was that delineation. Summoner Song just kind of views gods as intensely neutral magical beings that people often use to cover up for the bad things they do. I didn't do it. My god told me to do it. Summer Song believes you do things, you must own those actions. And so Summer Song did things because Summer Song wanted to. Also, he was loyal to the Kingdom of Symphony. So, but because he did that, he got to be a god, doing just what he thought was right. Nothing different. And that could be any of you. Any of you could be a god right now. I don't know. You could
Wait,
become a
aren't
god.
you
You could become a
Symphony?
god. What?
Didn't you say your name was Symphony?
Oh no, my name is Melody from the Kingdom of Symphony.
Melody from the Kingdom of Symphony. I see.
Which you would know is technically the name is the Fallen Kingdom of Symphony. Symphony does not exist anymore. The kingdom that you don't know. The kingdom that replaced it is Harmony, which is what Demina is the queen of. The Kingdom of Harmony, which rules Symphony, which rules the Fae. Symphony is the old kingdom that got wiped out by the dragons. By good old Asgareth. But yes, any of you could be gods, and that's the fun of being alive. Wouldn't you want to be rewarded for being exactly who you are, and then you get to do exactly what you already do for always? Isn't that kind of like retirement, old man?
No, I look forward to death. It adds urgency to my actions and the things that I do. It gives it importance. And so that's so say like I want to retire. I'm not gonna be the god of retirement. That'll get boring. Absolutely, I want to retire right now so that when I die in like 2, 3, 4 years, it'll be worthwhile, and I can look back and say, "Oh, look at all those things I did," but I don't have to do them right now because I retired right now.
That is a beautiful and yet simplistic point of view. Very human of you. It is who's to say that if you were to die right now, chasing this dream of retirement, that in 10 years, some young group of people wouldn't find you, hear how you retired, and be inspired by that, and then lead a life to be just like you.
But
Wouldn't you
you'll
be a
be
god
dead.
to them? Would
No,
it
I'd be
matter?
dead.
Would you be a god?
No, I would be dead.
Does your influence not count as a part of you? Or are you just...
No, that's more messages than anything. I could, you could just like, I could write a letter and send it to somebody across this flat Earth and this planet Silvernail, and it could say like, hey, it's gonna get cold over there. Here's the weather report, and they're like, oh, and they like bunker themselves up. They're not worshiping me. I mean, by what you're saying, yeah, that could be worshiping, but I don't think it's worship.
To that extent, that seems more idealization, but that could easily slip into worship if you were always right, because you were just good at knowing the weather, and they would come to trust you. They would need no one else to tell them the weather if you are telling them the weather. Which seems like deification to me.
Do kings become gods often?
Some try to.
All right,
Most
guys.
don't make it.
Listen.
Are you offering us godship?
Yeah,
if
look,
we
we need
do
to get
this?
to the point here because this
I'm just saying,
conversation's making my head hurt.
Power is always on the table. People who interact with me happen to be very powerful. It's just
Okay.
if cycles repeat themselves, the last person I met who I didn't know became the god of time. Just saying.
All right, look, I'm totally down to start fighting some shit and save the world. I mean, if we're the only ones who can
Same.
do it, I kind of like these guys already. I'm a little iffy on what's your name again? And he points to the tree girl.
Desiree?
You're the only one that seems like you're gonna get scared when like a boulder's falling and then somebody might get hurt because you didn't have confidence. You're the only one I'm kind of worried about. No offense, just like your whole.
He lived
aura.
longer than you.
I mean, that sounds pretty accurate.
I mean, see. Plus, I've lived a long time. Thank you very much. So I'm just saying, I'm cool with this if we want to save the world and shit. Like, what do we got to do? You got a map of this place because I've never been here.
Do we have to have the fairy? The
Why?
fairy scares me.
It shouldn't scare you, Tidbit.
You look in the eyes of me, speaker of peace, to be malice incarnate. And I think you summoned a demon.
Oh, Frog got some words for you, fairy.
I mean, it could have been interpreted that way, perhaps.
Wait, all right. Let's just, you know what? This is gonna happen like 2 months in our adventure. Let's just get it over with. What's the worst thing you've ever done, fairy? Go ahead and tell
Me
him now.
personally?
Yeah, tell him. Tell him. Shock him.
Oh, the worst thing I have done is probably beat some people up before. That's about all I've done.
Michael, what's my
Roll
passive
a
20
deception.
insight say?
Yeah, roll a deception check. Let's see who believes that.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's not me doing these things. That deception. plus 11 for a 24.
Anyone who wants to roll a insight is welcome to do so. That sounds pretty believable in this moment to all your ears, even the celestial ears of our friend, our god friend.
I got a 5, so.
He's like, mm.
I have 24.
Yeah, I got 13. I don't know shit.
And what'd you roll, Tanner?
Or 24.
Okay,
Yeah.
24. Okay.
I also got a 24. 14.
Looks like
Yeah.
we're all stalemating, boys.
I'll hit you with the you hear that there is no lie in what he says, but you know that it is not a full truth. You're like, oh yeah, okay. Like it's like, oh yeah, I've done that, but you can feel that this is an easier cop out. You're like, oh yeah, I'll just cop to I've done some, but
Don't
great.
get me wrong, I feel like what you're picking up on energetic from me is what I've just been a witness to over the years. Some dark stuff. That's why I was able to handle all of this. I think that's why we're all here able to handle what's happening right now, because what we've been a witness to. So don't worry, Frog. We'll mesh energetically soon enough. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, we
You
really
sure
don't have a
it's
choice either. We're all gonna fucking die if we don't work together. So like, you can stand on my right, and you can fly on my left.
Tidbit would like some tea.
She starts to pour your tea, and she kind of looks around. She's like, "Who's telling the next secret?"
I've committed tax fraud. That's the worst thing I've done.
That's not even that bad.
What the hell is tax fraud?
She's like, "What? Hey."
Yeah, the kingdom. I was living in forest at the time. There's like a township or just something close by.
Yeah.
Apparently, they knew like where I was, and they were like, "Hey, your tithes," and I was like, "Hey, I only made this much." So they were like, "Oh, you only owe this much." I made a little bit more though.
Oh yeah.
Just a
That's
little
not bad.
bit,
I mean,
but
sometimes you don't. You owe them money, but fuck them.
Yeah. What about you, Cheese?
Oh god, I've done so many bad things I
Whatever
can't
you
even
go
count.
by.
But
It
I
was
justify it.
Warhol.
So yeah, I have a way to
Yeah.
justify it.
That's not bad.
Good.
Well,
Desiree?
I don't want to appear to be the weakest link here, but I have personally never killed anyone.
I fucking knew it. Goody two shoes. She's gonna
What?
be the problem.
what
No, just because she
constitutes
hasn't killed anyone does not mean that she's not useful.
We
What
live in a world
constitutes
with like
someone?
axes and magic.
I also believe the frog probably hasn't killed anyone. Have you, Frog, Tidbit?
Tidbit has said swears
See, the frog's also innocent.
to the queen once.
I think we
That's
do things
pretty
a little
bad.
differently here in the Fae than it seems like you guys
I mean,
might do in
I'm
the
from
material
the Fae,
plane.
darling. We do everything a little just.
I mean, I will say I am very knowledgeable about a lot of different topics, and I'm kind of off-putting to most people, so I can blend into places
Oh.
very well.
That's actually very handy. You can like take all our notes and shit. We're like beating the hell out of things, and you're taking the notes. And if we need to like sneak in anywhere, do anything. No offense, Toots, but you're really hot. You got like tree nipples. You got like tree boobies.
Well, yes, I am
Literal bush.
partially made of fire. I don't think I get
You'll be
the joke that
dying.
you're making there, but yes, I am quite flammable.
I'm saying we're well-rounded. You can help us sneak into places. Frog's not gonna tell a lie. Sorry, Tidbit. I gotta start using your name. It's kind of cute. So we don't tell Tidbit anything we don't want him to lie about. And he's like a buff master. Old man. Actually, honestly, I don't
He
even
can
know
lie.
what you're.
Hey, that guy lasted the longest. He was the last one to appear in this room.
That's true, Melody. That's true.
Survivability.
You're quite a trained combatant. I will give you that.
I can hide very good if I'm standing very still for a very long time.
How long?
Are we through like 10ish minutes?
10 minutes.
Maybe one.
Do you like go
Between
invisible?
1 and 10 minutes. No.
You just rely on people
stand
just
there.
ignoring you.
Come on, Peter.
All right, I take it back.
I can like.
Desiree's gonna be just fine in comparison.
Yeah, we're better. We're better with Desiree.
All right, so there you go. What do you want us to do, Melody? We're ready.
Well, the simulation program. I don't know what you really call it. It's my first time doing it. It
In 700 years?
correct. The Will of Hysteria exists for one purpose only: to stop the primordial princes who haven't been around since the Will of Hysteria did their job the first time. So I didn't know I was the only one. I just was trained by my parents like I was supposed to be, did my thing, and it's kind of like a break this glass when things are in danger. I did that, and then you showed up. So it's giving that it's me and you.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, blood magic is weird, but the thing is, the primordial princes. That's the problem. It seems that I have gathered evidence. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. Melody of Symphony. I am a member of the Will of Hysteria, and I have a very unique ability that allows me to locate and feel shifts in elemental planes. That's how I got Summer Song to this plane originally. There are lots of often overlaps and doorways that people can't find. I can find them, and I monitor them because Will of Hysteria just kind of worked out. And so I spent a lot of years monitoring these the ley lines, and there has been nothing of import until very recently, and it seemed like it was time to call in some reinforcements. However, the reinforcements seem to be my very confused friend sitting in front of me versus a bunch of highly trained wizards and mages who are practiced and prepped to fight the primordial princes as they've been training for several generations to do so. So, we're both at a little loss here.
I mean,
But-
we're not weak.
No, definitely not weak. Like I said, when I first saw you, I'm not gonna lie, I felt very similar to my friend Sharp. Not the highest expectations. However, you made it pretty far, okay? You made it to the last round. That is very impressive. I cannot lie about that. You did it very well. Again, having two healers very useful. You seem to have a lot of congruency for people who have not met before.
Yeah, that reminds me. Is the little play about elementals still going? Because I got a little cheese friend I'd like to get back.
It is not still going. It has concluded.
Great. All right, keep going. I'm just gonna be building over here in the corner.
So the problem is, I fear that the primordial princes are returning to the Fae, and as mentioned, they are giant warmongering beasts of primal energy who don't really give a fuck about anybody else. So you can see how that may not be great for the people who live in the Fae, as they do not have dictators currently and don't fight each other ad nauseum. So it is not good for us. And if they do come and break through, that'd be an issue. And
So they weren't even the last ones we fought. Is that what you're saying? Those titans we fought, was that the primordial princes? Was it like an example of them? Are they bigger than that?
say an example. As I mentioned, I personally have not fought primordial princes. Yeah, it's things that are built off of information and energy I could siphon from some of the planes to recreate this, so that I could, if I was going to be in charge of it, but to make sure the people I was leading were competent soldiers. Which
Same page
again,
now, yeah.
Which again you are. And okay, so we'll address the elephant in the room. Within the Fae, there's a Sky Defense Academy. Why aren't they handling it? Technically, there are two of you who are from the Sky Defense Academy, so there is that involved. However, this is not. I have reason to believe. Okay, I haven't said this out loud before. I have reason to believe that while it could be conscious or unconscious, that Demina's school, the Sky Defense Academy, has been siphoning energy from the elemental ley lines for a little too long, and that is causing the weakening of the seals that keep the primordial princes out. If I were to tell her that, or to tell any of the Sky Defense Academy that I think their queen's claim to fame is ruining the Fae, I could just see that not going over well, particularly when I have not the most concrete evidence. So
So
a
you
small
need us to get evidence for you.
evidence, fix the problem. I'm more of a hey, we did it versus a hey, there's a problem kind of girl.
So why don't we just take the school down if that's the problem?
That would be so
wait.
cool.
Yeah,
What
we've
is-
taken down buildings before, I'm assuming.
Excuse me, I'd like to chime in. There's actually a lot of very lovely people at the school. I wouldn't want to bring harm to them.
Oh,
Correct,
we don't.
we
They
are
don't
not
have to be
destroying-
inside the building when we
we'll
take it down.
evacuate them.
Tidbit could just talk to Demina. She listens to Tidbit because Tidbit does not stop talking until she does.
And
That sounds like it'll take a long time, though, and we don't have a lot of time, is the vibe I'm picking up.
correct.
I-
Yes, we cannot destroy the school because there are people who are in the school, and so that is not an option. The school is
Aw.
not necessarily a bad thing. It's just existed for so long, and it's just doing its job, and it's pulling from something she probably didn't know about. The will of his theory. She's not a member, or she'd be here. So perhaps
Yeah.
there was no attachment to her awareness of the ley line's power to being sealed. Information in the Fae is all very upfront, but also hidden behind layers of omission. It's best to know exactly what you need to know.
So is pulling
Okay,
from
well-
these ley lines gonna make it worse? Will stopping pulling from the ley lines do anything at this point, or is it like climate change a little too far?
I believe a little too far. I think that the flares are signs that energy is seeping through already. So stopping the school wouldn't help it. Checking the seals and refortifying them would be the best bet. But I'm not sure if they're actually in danger. So that is where you are half right. It is a reconnaissance mission. Figure out the problem. But part 2, if you can figure out the problem, handle the problem. I don't want to have to play telephone because there is no
Yeah.
one else.
How many seals are there?
Oh, you're really not from the Fae. There are 4 in the 4 elemental courts. 1 in winter, 1 in spring, 1 in summer, and 1 in autumn. The school traces over them to collect energies in which they use to power the school's programs.
Gotcha.
I have seen recent players from the elemental ley line that resides in the Court of Autumn. However, Tidbit and Desiree absolutely know the Court of Autumn is not a place people really go if you're not from the Court of Autumn, because the Court of Autumn is viewed to be alive. The fungal mother who runs the Court of Autumn is also a part of the Court of Autumn. She is a myconid that exists throughout the entire plane of her rule, which is why her son, the fungal prince, is a separate entity who resides at the castle to speak for her, because she cannot leave because she is of the land. So that is said, you know that as she goes into, and it is in the Court of Autumn, and it's hard to get in there without people knowing that you've been there, and I haven't been able to effectively gain intel there. But that is where I've seen the last largest flare is from the Court of Autumn, which is where I would assume would be the best place to look if something is going bad. And there'll be, if something is going wrong, it's sure to be clear.
Let's go there.
Yeah, I'm down for it. All right, I want to make a deal though. If we do this,
Me?
well, they can make their
okay.
own deals.
Sure.
If I do
I think
this,
we're in position to do that.
I want information about a certain spot in the Fae. I mean, all information.
Well, if you do this and you succeed, you will be a protector of the Fae, so I'm sure that any information you want will be freely given.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
that's
not-
right. I'll be like a hero. People will just fork over information.
What is the spot in the Fae you're titillated by?
Is it like
we
food to you?
gotta-
Is it sustenance?
We got a whole journey. I'm sure you'll want to know all about it.
There's a narrowing of her
Oh.
eyes, and then she cuts over to Tibbet, and then back to Desiree. As he says that, there's just you guys can pick up. There's a vibe that gets like, she's like everything he says is like weird. Like he just, and I think it's coming down to the fact that like you guys know that he does not act like a Fey food folk. It's like meeting somebody who's been stereotyped their entire existence, and you meet them, and you're like, oh, everything I know about you is this. You're not doing any of those things, and so it's kind of like every time he says something, it's like you have moments where it's like, oh, okay, not a big deal, and then it's like, huh? But she gives you that look. She's like when he says, oh, they'll be indebted to me. She's like, it's very material plane speak. But she cuts her eyes to you guys. That moment happens. It's not very long. It took me longer to explain it than it actually was. But she cuts her eyes to you all, and she goes, well, are there any other questions? I would love to answer anything else. I know that it is quite a lot, but I am
I don't.
in your success. So if there's any information you would like from me that I can offer, I would be happy to. I'm just not sure of what I can offer in this moment. Yes, sir?
I don't really know what this school is and why you see a seal, right? And you're like, this is a seal. People know what seals are. And they think to themselves, let's siphon energy out of it for us. And let's keep doing that. Why did they think that was a good idea? Just the verbiage and
It is kind of how I mentioned that the truth is hidden behind layers of omission. I know that they are seals because the will of the city are the people who set the seals. So I am aware of why they exist and how they exist. I don't believe that is common knowledge amongst all the people of the Fae. Most people just view it as they view them as elemental ley lines, just focal points of immense elemental energy that shape the Fae. It's not a song we sing about. We don't brag about the things that we've done. We kind of just hope that it wouldn't come up again, which may have been, downside on our predecessors' part. Maybe they should have just said, it's an evil seal that holds back very powerful things. Do not touch it. Don't do it. It's kind of crazy. But that was not said. And Demina used it very artistically. Her school pulls small amounts of magic from each of those lines to powder schools for a year to teach kids how to fight there so that they can one day defeat Olivine, which Tidbit knows is no longer a threat. No one else knows that. Everyone hears Olivine and they're like, oh, Olivine, it's he who shall not be named. Like,
I don't think he said bad.
that's really yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you been to Silverware? The guy's done fucking great for us. You know how annoying the people in Sweetvale were before? I had to hear singing lollipops all the time. I don't hear a word now. Thank you all, I mean.
Well, he's just been an absolute tyrant all over the material plane, and
Where are you from?
well, I'm from around, bud.
Because where I'm at, we love the guy. Okay? I know food folk that would be dead in 2 minutes. You ever seen a strawberry stand outside in the sun for more than 5 hours? Not with Olivine. They got enough preservatives. Them things are dancing for 16 moons. It's like 16 nights. They say that around there.
So you like Olivine, where you're from, food folk?
Olivine has done great things for Silverware. Yeah, we hear people come in, some foreigners come in and say he's done some bad things, but from where I'm from, the guy's done great. And I'll tell you why. It's because we give the children in Silverware a chance.
Or to him?
To him. No, don't be gross.
Everyone
Love
from
kids.
everyone from the Fae is anti Olivine. However, there are some separate reasons. Tidbit and Desiree are conditioned to not like Olivine. That's why they go to school. It's their whole purpose is to combat the unkillable beast that is Olivine. Sylvie, who is not a graduate or a member of the Scadipus Academy, also has been conditioned to hate Olivine because someone very important to her hates Olivine because that person hates kids. And so, off principle, she fucking hates Olivine because he just loves those little fucking kids and she can't stand them. So, the three of you know that. And also, Andrew's also anti Olivine, as most sane people are, you know.
I've been around.
I've definitely seen the effect Olivine has had on Silvanelle at large, and it is quite disturbing. His reach is quite grand. However, I don't. These things don't happen in a vacuum. You can't have a great evil without having a great good come to combat it. I'm not saying you're that great good. I'm just saying great evils breed great goods. However, the reverse is the same. Great goods also breed great evils. The primordial princes were bad. It created a force that had to be strong enough to defeat them. Olivine is bad. Eventually, a force will be strong enough to defeat Olivine. Whether they view themselves as good or not, it is just destined to happen, as is the ways of Silvernell. Rise and fall, you know, ebb and flow, cycles of life, the drama.
So why don't we just get Olivine to kill these elementals? These princes.
Do you have
only
on
you
speed
seem to be
dial?
friends with him, so if you can just call him up and have him head pop a couple of things, that'd be great.
Somebody, sends him a letter saying, "Hey, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are coming to destroy the world." That's his whole spiel. He loves the world control. He'll kill him, right? I mean, it's not a crazy idea.
I'd love to see
Yeah,
him
it's
try.
really not when there's 4 of us and 1 of you.
Yeah, I mean,
Huh?
Good example, you know.
I'm particularly not pro bringing Olivine anywhere near anything ever. So we'll keep that as a very, very strong.
All right. I'm catching the vibes. My bad.
Yeah, it's just tyrants do what tyrants do. But if you all die, I'll go hit him up. Don't worry. I'll be sure to hit his line and see how that's going. Thank you for that suggestion. There are no dumb answers, only questionable questions. That's what he suggests.
I guess I do have a question. I mean, I would beat myself up if I didn't ask you for why I'm here, but do you happen to know anything about the Neo Asgarathis? And as Desiree says that, her eyes cut to Tidbit to see if he exudes any kind of reaction from hearing that.
You asked about the Neo Asgarathis. She says, no, I've not heard of any. I know of the Asgarathis and their allegiances to Asgarath, but I'm not aware of any new resurgences of them. However, I cannot lie to you. I have been very busy with this primordial prince thing the last few decades, so my focus has not been as intently on the Fae as a solid as it should have been. Tidbit, make me a history check. You know about the Asgarathis. That's not the problem. But what do you know?
With a 12.
12. She says Neo Asgarathis, and I think that there's a flash of confusion. I think that Tidbit knows a lot of things, and not knowing things is very foreign to Tidbit. Particularly things that are supposed to be about the Fae. Like you're just heavily in the know, and her mentioning Neo Asgarathis is weird to you because you haven't heard anyone talk about Asgarathis in a very long time, and you know the prefix Neo means new Asgarathis. So hearing that there's some sort of new resurgence that you have not heard about, it kind of like tings your brain, but also in a weird way of, oh, why do you know about that? So now I think your brain may have like caught that, and also may have like reversed it to be like, are you in Asgarath? You're like, are you trying to catch me in the lie that you're also selling? So you sit in that place. So you see his brain going through like the word realization of Neo Asgarathis, and you see him like look at you, and then that in this weird like sky defense moment of like there's some recognition, but I don't know if you Desiree notice that he is unaware of what's happening, but you are looking at you see him make eye contact with you, processing those words very innocently but confused, which is a good sign for you.
Okay.
That is a pro sign.
And I do have one more question, but it's not for you. It's for Mr. Sharp. What part of Silverware did you say you were from again?
Well, I currently live in Vegeton. I don't really have a from. I was orphaned as a child, so I roamed around.
Interesting. According to the map I've seen of Silverware, it doesn't seem that Sweetvale is near there. So the screams that you mentioned earlier in the singing, and that's interesting. Okay. And she's gonna jot some stuff down in her notebook.
Whoa. Calm down there, detective. Sweetvale's not too far. All right, you got Fruitford, Sweetvale, Cutlery Creek, Vegeton, and Bradenboro. Wait, what are you writing down there? All right, I've heard singing.
It's just quite a large distance to hear singing. Never mind. And she goes back to frivolously writing again.
Listen, you got any questions, you ask me. I'll tell you the answers, all right? I'm not lying to you.
I like the elf.
I'm just working on profiles of all of you right now. I hope to have most of your information done by the end of the day.
Do go through them, Miss Profiler.
Oh, no, thank you.
You don't want to hear about yourself, Tidbit?
Tidbit
You
is
don't want to hear about
Tidbit.
yourself?
Tidbit is Tidbit. There's nothing more to say.
And honestly, I do feel a little guilty, you guys. When we first got here, we all said that we had never met before, but I will admit I have been aware of Tidbit's presence before this encounter that we've all had today.
Oh. Oh, yeah, y'all went to the same school, right?
Yeah, spill the beans, Velma.
Tidbit is unfamiliar.
Unfamiliar
Sorry.
with me? That doesn't come as a shock to me. Most everybody is unfamiliar with me.
Why? Looking like that?
Some people find my flames to be off-putting, I guess. I've never really had the chance to ask them. This is the most anybody outside of my family has ever spoken to me at once, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you just gotta find one that appreciates the warmth, Des. And like as Sylvie like is saying that, Sylvie will like float over and see some of the vines that are like intertwining on Desiree and Druid craft some little blooms on them. So they like are all flowery.
That's cute. I imagine they're like little flame petals that will start to sprout.
Melody starts to drink her tea, and then you see the teapot in front of her the teapot you have been drinking out of. I'm sorry, I'm burping. Oh my god. That you've been drinking out of starts to almost like it has heated up, and it starts to whistle like a fresh kettle is on, and she goes, "Oh, I think it's time." Has everyone had some tea?
No.
Personally, don't ingest liquids.
I didn't know you were offering.
Oh yes, free tea.
Ah,
Do we need to drink it? Is that what you're saying?
Heavily suggested.
can I ask what kind it is? I'm a fan of chamomile.
Oh, this is a Fey brew. It's very calming, and it has a very calming effect, almost like what you said.
When she says calming, Desiree chugs it.
Yeah, you take it
I
in.
guess I'll have a cup.
It feels very warm, but it feels like the perfect temperature going down your down your throat. It has it feels very warm. You can feel it like moving through your body, almost like you are a piece of ice, and you just feel it like traveling through you. Like, oh wow, it's really getting me. And she's just sitting there drinking it. Are you sure you don't want some, Shop?
I mean, it's not. I'm not trying to be rude. Normally, I am. It's not that I don't want it. I literally will not benefit from ingesting it. I just don't ingest liquid.
Will it come out of the holes because for scientific purposes?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Oh, can we watch?
No, you
Please.
can watch water come out of your own holes.
I do.
Then may I suggest holding the teacup?
All right, and I'm gonna look at Tidbit and point towards the fairy. I swear they've done more than just beat up a person. They're kinky.
You scare me.
You
Little
can
bit now.
feel, Scott. You feel the you can feel there is arcane energy inside this teacup. The artificer in you is aware that like there is magic in the teacup.
Huge.
You see the teacup. You see the set. Like it's all just seems like very like arcanely attuned. And as you're drinking it, she goes. Or you're holding it. She goes. Perfect. All right. It's been I think we're time. And you kind of she points behind you. She gestures. You can see my hands. She gestures behind you, and as if to turn around. And she gestures behind you, all behind all five of you, and you all turn around, and you see that there are these, like almost like a museum. It's like a glass case, on a pillar of various heights that happens to be the exact height of you. Like the wood part, the not glass part stops at right where your eye line would be, and there's like a case of something.
Oh, cute.
Who approaches their case first? If anyone wants to approach your case.
I love a gift. I'm floating right over.
Yeah, Sylvie, you float over and you see, as you get closer, you look at it and you feel, you can feel not the case, but the thing behind the case. You feel your right arm start to warm up a little bit. The glass on the case cracks. You see inside of it is a shield with a a shield with a hummingbird etched into it, almost like the Aegis that has Medusa's head on it. It is a shield that has a hummingbird on it, and you feel your arm start to heat up a little bit, and then the shield shakes and it flies on and attaches to your arm.
Ooh.
You have received a magic item known as Musin Discord. I will send you the full stats of it after this episode. But
Love
you
the name.
are bound to a shield that has a hummingbird on it, and it hits you. You're like, oh, and you see as it flies at you, it's hard to tell like how big it is, but it looks. You could swear it was shrinking as it got close to you to be the size
Perfect fit
of-
for
of
me.
your arm.
Oh,
as you're a tiny,
love
tinier
it.
creature, and it hits
Although
you.
kind of
as
creepy.
as it hits you, it kind of like takes you with force because it's got some heft to it, and you swing around. And the first thing that Tidbit notices is Muse, which is a hummingbird familiar of summer songs that very dramatically was sacrificed, and you see it is embedded on this shield that he now holds, and you recognize that is the shield that Summer Song held. Sylvie is holding Summer Song's shield with that has now been emboldened and emblemed with this added feature of Summer Song in the house of Summer Song. Your brain is braining.
Your hands are too filthy for that.
What?
Oh,
Tidbit. I thought we were getting
sass.
along.
I go up to my case.
You walk up to your case, and it is almost as small as Sylvie's. Probably a little smaller. You walk up to it, it starts to shake, and you feel you're wearing a robe, correct? Robes. You can feel a part of your cloth start to be pulled towards it, and as you pull back, the glass shatters, and a pin, PIN, is attached to your cloth in any particular area you would want on your chest. It is known as the pin of protection. You don't know what the thing does, but it has a arcane symbol on it, and you can feel energy radiating from it. And it is attached to your cloth. Who next? It does not throw you around. It's very light. It's very, very. You can move.
I'm gonna look at Desiree and be like, after you.
Thank you. And she will kind of apprehensively approach it.
Yeah. What is Desiree wearing currently?
It's kind of like a flowy red and orange dress, kind of like I don't, like the dress that like hippies would wear back in like Woodstock or something like that. Like the way that she would spin and the way it flows kind of also looks like flames in a way.
Gotcha. As you start to move towards it, you turn around, you start moving towards it. You can feel almost like a Beyonce fan hits you. Like you can feel air blowing at you. Your cape starts to, or your robe starts to, your dress starts to ripple and move, and then the glass in front of you starts to crack, and then it shakes and flying at you. It seems like threads of fabric until it hits your body and it starts to wrap around you, and you are wearing this. It's like I would imagine like a cardigan is the best way to describe it. When you're wearing a dress, it's like this open. It's open. There's no buttons on it. It's just like flow. It hangs over your shoulders, flows down. It is covered in runes and etchings, and it is known as the robe of Elven Symphony. Another item that Tidbit would notice is something that Summer Song wore, and you would know that not only did Summer Song wear it, but it first belonged to King Accelerando, the leader of the Kingdom of Symphony, who gifted it to his daughter Demina, who gifted it to Summer Song before he left to become a god. And so you now have the robes of Elven Symphony. And you feel so protected. The AC's going up, y'all. Never again. Never again.
How high?
You'll see. I promise it's higher than 11. I promise it's higher than 11. And if Scott remembers that one, he should know how high it is because he made that magic item. Who's next?
It's high.
It's his eye. All right. Well, speaking of things Scott made, you turn towards your podium. You start to walk towards it, and you feel a shaking, but it's on you first. You feel wherever that spear is on you, or that it's a spear. Your sticky,
it's in me.
You feel it shaking around inside of you. And you feel you feel afraid, so you reach in and you pull it out because you don't know where it's gonna. You feel it, and it starts to shake. You see the glass on the podium does not start to crack, and then the blade flies out of your hand, hits the glass, shatters it, and you see there's a handle of a sword, a hilt of a sword or a hilt of a blade that attaches itself to the middle of your spear, because that's typically where you would hold a spear, in the middle. Adjustable, but it attaches to your spear, and then the spear returns itself to you right where you are holding that hilt, and you feel very powerful. It feels like it's you can't move it around with it. It feels like a spear, but as you like hit those like mock attacks, it feels like you are flying through the air, like you're having strokes of genius, some may say. You are now carrying Accelerando's singing hilt. Tidbit notices that is the sword that Summersong carried when he was alive, that also was gifted to him by Demina, that was owned by King Accelerando, and it was a part of his two-piece set, his hilt and his cloak. And it hits in your hand. Tidbit makes that recognition of that object that belonged to his benefactor.
What hilt?
Singing hilt.
Singing hilt. Oh God!
Do you remember her?
Fucking Sweet Veil people.
Time always tells. And then last but not least. Oh, Andy. Okay, there he is.
I saunter.
Begrudgingly.
As you start to saunter over to it, and you feel a pulling on your clothes as well. It feels like it's kind of like something's inside of your shirt trying to fly out of it. It's in that kind of motion. And then the glass on the other side does not shatter, but it explodes from solid. Just there's nothing inside of it. And then you feel on your chest a pendant appear. You never saw it. You physically cannot see it. You feel that it's on you. And it is known as the my phone locked. The pendant of displacement. And you feel it just sitting there, and as you feel that kind of like kind of get out before it kind of nestles towards you, and you feel it like moving closer to your skin, not into your skin, but like it's like oh you're kind of nice, and it kind of like rests on you, like cold metal touching your skin for the first time. It's like oh, but then it kind of relaxes, and
Thank,
sorry,
thank God. I thought it was another blight. I was not prepared to take on that responsibility.
a fourth kid. You all are sitting there. You're having those moments. They happen almost simultaneously, 6 seconds after each other. You kind of everyone's catching their thing. They're like, whoa, my gosh. There's some not nice words said from our froggy friend that get spoken out there, but Melody's sitting there. Yeah, yes. And Melody is sitting there, and she's, ooh, it's close to what I would have guessed. Yep. Oh, that robe looks great on you. Haven't seen it since Summer Song wore it. Oh, gosh. Oh, you got the hilt. Interesting. You three, come here. And she points at not the hilt and not the robe. The other three. She's like, you three, come here. And she wants to see your things closer.
But did you not? I approach. Did you not know what was in the boxes?
Right?
Oh no! I mean, wasn't my business. They want it for me. They
it's a regift.
They are attuned to the teacups. They rumor is they find the person who needs them most. They are gifts left by Summer Song. I like to call them timeless gifts. Placed here years and years ago. He became a god. He's wanted to leave his things. You know, you can't take it with you when you die or ascend, apparently. That's hilarious. But I obviously was not predestined to need one of these items. But also, I'm 700 years old. I made it this far. I didn't need a divine artifact, so a divine relic. So I'm not that mad about it. But this does bode well for you all. I was worried that you might not all get one, but 5 and 5, it just seemed like it'd be appropriate. But Summer Song is tricky sometimes. And then she looks at Andrew's pin. The pendant, sorry. Interesting. That's new. Not seen one of those before. It's funny because I see you're wearing it, but I can't.
That's starting to hurt a little bit.
Why is it invisible? Okay. It's like removed from space. Beautiful. Oh. Summoner Song. Tricky. And she moves down. Ah, he made a shield. Cute. And what is
It
this?
is cute.
Looks at Ben's pen. Oh. I remember this spell. Summoner Song this was his bread and butter. This is the safeguard spell. That'll come in handy. And she just kind of like gives those moments of commentary to you all as she like takes in these objects that she's never seen before. And she's just very like, oh wow.
Kind of feel bad going through an old man's closet.
Oh, I mean, it's like a. Imagine there was a wheel. Funny because we're called the wheel. Anyways, imagine there was a wheel of what happened to your things after you died. It's not weird if if they were for you. Like I want you to have my car when I go, even if you don't know me. It's like my 18th grandson gets my fortune, and it's like great. Didn't know your grandpa, but
this must be cool for you, Tidbit, watching your god give all the shit to us.
No, not really.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean not really? You didn't expect that? This is like if you have a famous actor you love and then you get his shoes. You should love this, right?
Well,
Shoot.
Why would you want the shoes?
It is still. Also, why shoes?
You never want a famous actor's shoes? What kind of fucking shit do you guys do over here? You're all so different.
In the name of Sir Urfa, I need to know what you would do with those shoes.
Hey, don't croak, Toad. I would wear them. It's fine. You seem a little tense.
What are you doing with the shoes?
I don't have the this is called a metaphor. Alright, I think we're ready to start this adventure. The frog's about to pass out.
The problem with the Fae, we're pretty literal. We don't do much talking around. It's either you say it or you just don't, which is how we lie.
That
Yeah, but
makes
just so we're clear,
sense.
that's not the disconnect you've been having with all of us.
Oh,
So
okay.
well, just those two.
Thanks.
I think they've got something going on there. But I will say this is I will let you all leave, sure. But this is a good group. I know you are having some growing pains as you are naturally not predispositioned to be of the same mindset, but that is good. That is something that that the Will of the City had to learn very early on. It's our differences that make us stronger, and our similarities. We cannot ignore them. You have to work all together, because if you all just thought like Sylvie over here, then we'd have 5 Sylvies, and we would never have the powerful protective magics of Tidbit, or the inquisitive knowledge of Desiree, or the awesome carvings of Ursine. You know,
I do more things.
Hey, you got stereotyped immediately. You go with it. You stick to your brand, old man.
but if there are no more questions, I will release you. I will say this is the last thing, because it will be kind of disconcerting. I can send you to the Fae. Where in the Fae is not a power that I'm like really good at. I can get you there. You know you're going to the Court of Autumn, and so I suggest you just find your way there. But if you know where you start, you should be able to find where you're going. And I'm sure that Tidbit and Desiree will be very helpful, and I'm sure Ursine skills will come in handy on this side as well.
So that's a no on the
They
map.
just don't know.
Oh, maps? No, okay, I can tell you this. There are no maps of the Fae. It's a little
Tricky.
subjective. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but a couple 100 years ago, a big piece of the map just went missing. And it was kind of crazy. You may have found it. It was in the material plane.
Yeah, I live
but
there.
yeah, after that, it kind of seemed like the Fae was shrinking. And so it just kind of seems like there are some growing pains that the Fae is currently going through, because it is, again, a living being. That part is kind of weird for people. It does birth things. It is kind of sentient in a weird way. So you should respect it. Or it can get mad. But yeah, there's no maps. Everything's always just slightly off and moving or changing. Sometimes whole forests get up and move, or mountains decide they don't want to be there anymore, and they just up and go. And to make new maps all the time would just be too much work. So we just Also, most don't travel. They just stay in their own courts. Like, you don't, unless you're going to do something very particular. There's not much travel, so it should be easy to get where you're going. Court of Autumn. Be careful. Don't die. She's always watching. So once you get there, she'll know. So just be very fortuitous about what you do. I believe in you
Maybe.
more now. So there's that as well. If that means anything.
Oh, one last question.
She's just like, huh? He's not believing me. All right.
Got,
Yes.
Can we take a nap first?
No. No. You will have the effects of a little rest. When you don't have to drink the tea from it, you just have to hold the cup. Drinking the tea is part of the fun. So you'll feel better. Not well rested, but rested.
Alright.
Not a long rest, but a short rest. So you can get any hit points back and things from that nature. But this place is closing soon. It was great to see you. Didn't know this would really happen. I'm glad I got to come back here. I don't get to hang out here often because it's Summoner Song's thing. The school just happened to bring me here, brought you all here, got to do the whole thing. So I'm glad I got to test you all. And now I'm going to go look for other ways that this could be handled. Not that I don't trust you, but you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say.
Will we get to talk to you again?
No. Do you need to?
What if we want to?
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither do I. That's kind of. I mean, if I find you, if we have run into each other and the problem's not solved, it's probably a bad thing. Or one of us has really, really good news. Like I found someone else to do the job, or you've completed it.
Also, one more question. Sorry.
Or I don't see you again, which I hope is not the case. I like you all now.
Does the name Sanjay mean anything to you?
Yes, like his place of impact.
Yes. Where is
Yes.
that?
She kind of looks around at her Fae friends. We don't really go there. It's not off limits, but it's a
Gross.
weird place to be.
All I need to know. Which direction?
How about I include that in your reward after? You just seem very.
Okay. I'll take it.
I like you. I just don't want to give you too many things, and then we'll run off to Sanjay's impact or kill your team. I don't know.
No. I
but
would never do that. Never do that.
He could. He might.
He would before I would, so we're all
I'm-
clear.
I wouldn't
I'm
do
not
that.
gonna roll insight because I'm just gonna live in this delusion that I trust the people I work with, even if I can't. It's gonna be okay because I have no options. It's fine.
Tidbit, look at me. I wouldn't do that. Tidbit, look at me, Tidbit.
I roll a deception or persuasion if you would
Oh,
never
me?
kill if you would never kill Tidbit and that is truth, then persuasion. If you
I
are lying,
don't want to tell you
might-
which one I'm rolling because that
Great. Well,
would
that's up to
be a
you.
clue.
Yeah,
So
roll whatever you roll.
I'll
and
roll
then
that one, and it is a.
We'll see if it's under or over.
It's 14.
Oh yeah, he knows Tibbet's passive is 20, but he's
Oh,
you gotta be real good at whatever you're
I
saying.
would,
Either-
Tidbit, I would.
And so now he knows you were rolling a persuasion or deception. Which one was it?
I was rolling deception.
So now you know he was lying. Or at least, yeah, you know he was lying in that sentence. You may not know what he was lying about, but you pick up that he is definitely giving tells, which is hard to tell because looking at him, you can tell that it's hard to read his tells because his face and voice don't always like match up. It's like, oh, I see you're lying, like something's going on here, but like your face isn't lying. It's not reading. And that to you is like either really well trained liar or some weird shit. But you're like, oh, okay. But also, you don't know what that guy is. But he would kill you. You believe that he may kill you, or cause you some harm, or that's just that. I'm not gonna put any ideas in your head. That's just what you think.
This moment is
going
lingering
to
for a
kill him.
long time.
She's like, all right, well, it was lovely meeting you all.
You too, actually.
I do hope that we see each other again, and it is in the new age of the Will of Vistiri, and we get to rest or retire for another 700 years, and it'll be great. And then we just do it again. Well, not you all, but maybe you. And she
Oh,
points
thank
at
God.
Desiree.
Thank God.
To Ursine, the god of retirement.
She's like, you might live a while, my elven friend. And then she kind of finishes her tea. She looks to see if everyone else is done with their tea. Great.
Yeah.
Places it down. She taps the cup, and you all smell cinnamon. You see that you are standing in a forest. You feel that it's very hot. It is warm here. Smell cinnamon. See a forest. It feels hot, and you can taste the heaviness in the air. There's like it's like if there was a scented smog or haze that was going through. It's like oh, but you can't identify the taste. It just has a very earthy, spicy taste, except for Desiree. Desiree goes, "Are we home?" And you know, for a fact, that you're standing somewhere in the court of summer. And that is where we will end this episode. We'll see you next time, my friends, in the fair. Hey, Autumn. Oh, you know what?
Yay, we're all talking.
We exchanged names. We died together, and then mistrust was immediately sewn in.
Yay.
That part.
And Erica's character is a complete shock opposite of Princess Mizu.
Yeah, I was like, she's gonna be my totally spies. Is how I view Erica's character. I'm like,
I have more sympathy for your character in an hour than I did over 70 hours.
I see. I imagine her as like she's only such a successful spy because nobody fucking pays attention to her worth of shit. Like that's the reason she's so good at her job.
Yeah, I think it's funny that it's currently reading as people don't like you because of how you look, which isn't actually the case at all. Like the people at the Fae don't care that you look like a burning tree. They care that you're a graduate.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Oh, sorry.
And she's definitely like autistic as hell.
yeah.
So like she doesn't get the joke. She doesn't get why like people don't want to talk to her. Like why she doesn't have a lot of friends. When you made that the elephant in the room comment, I went.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So good.
Yep. Goofy.
I honestly, I love this for Erica. I'm like, this
Me
is
too.
so unlike the energy I'm used to getting out of you.
All right.
I definitely want to bring out
Neuroticism.
some new energies from our friends, especially with people who've been here for a while. You sometimes get stuck in those same kind of characters. It's like, oh well, and I know what Erica has already done, so I'm like, great. I just want to make something that will be different. And B is very specific. Mizu is very specific. So I'm like, great. I know to not be those two things, and it'll be something completely different. And so it works out.
But anyways, thanks for watching.
Thanks for hanging out with us. You got a little behind the scenes chat.
Oh, I thought he ended it already. Bye.
Bye.